Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following story is based entirely on publicly available courtroom records and is meant for educational and entertainment purposes only. The moment 50 Cent walked into Courtroom, the atmosphere shifted. This wasn't a rapper or entertainer the public knew. This was a man with a reputation for brutal honesty, stepping into history not with mic, but under oath. There was no music, no show, just silence, tension, and the truth. And Diddy? He wasn't ready. For years, 50 had taken jabs at Diddy. Cryptic posts, shady memes, odd comments. Most thought it was beef, just trolling. But now, in a federal courtroom investigating serious allegations of trafficking and abuse of power, 50 wasn't playing games. He came to testify. And he didn't come alone. He came with names, receipts, and a timeline the music industry had spent years trying to bury. As the judge called for order, the tension in the room hit a breaking point. 50 wasn't just exposing Diddy. He was tearing the lid off a secret culture, one hiding in plain sight for years. This didn't start with subpoenas. It started with whispers. It started online. It began back in 2014. A meme here, a comment there. In one post, 50 mocked a suspicious closeness between Diddy and Rick Ross. People laughed. But behind the humor was discomfort, real suspicion. In 2018, he told the Breakfast Club how Diddy once invited him shopping and said, "I'll buy you anything you want." Everyone chuckled, but 50 wasn't joking. "What kind of man says that to another man?" he asked. Underneath the sarcasm, there was a warning. And now, in court, the warning was loud and clear. By 2022, everything changed. Those old jokes didn't feel like jokes anymore. Lawsuits started rolling in. Victims stepped forward. And 50's cryptic messages suddenly made sense. "Told you," he wrote when Cassie's lawsuit broke the internet. No punchlines, just facts. Now inside that courtroom, prosecutors brought 50 in not as a stunt, but as a surprise witness. He was there to talk about what he saw, about what he knew, about what the industry didn't want anyone else to find out. He wasn't alone. He had a list, names, dates, private moments. It wasn't gossip. It was evidence. And the first name he brought up? Fabulous. He recounted a moment from Drink Champs when Diddy looked at Fab and said, "We ain't never really partied." Fab smiled, but was forced. His eyes shifted. 50 was there. "I watched him fold up," he said. "That wasn't a joke. That was fear." 50 went on. At an event, he heard Fab tell someone, "I just want to leave," after Puff cornered him. Fab didn't argue. He vanished. Later, Fab posted that he snuck out of a Diddy party at 7 a.m., pretending to use the bathroom. 50 confirmed it. "That's what Puff does," he told the court. Applies pressure. And he'd been warning artists for years. Don't take gifts. Don't go to his house. Never agree to a private after-party. That's when all goes sideways. Then came the moment that shattered the room. Prosecutors asked if he would name others. He looked Diddy straight in the eye. "Oh," he said, "this is just a warm-up." Then he dropped a name no one expected. Justin Bieber. The courtroom froze. "This one's going to sting," 50 warned. He brought up a clip from years ago. Diddy, laughing, said, "I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me." At the time, it was dismissed as a joke. But now, 50 stripped away the humor. Nobody calls it mentorship when it's 2 a.m. in Miami and the kid is 15. He didn't claim he saw anything, but he heard enough from people who were there, people too afraid to speak. It wasn't about music, he said. It was about exposing a kid to things he never should have seen. And Bieber's breakdowns? The erratic behavior? That's not just fame, 50 told the jury. That's trauma, and Puff created it. He quoted Bieber's own words from a past interview when asked if he'd send his own kid to Flavor Camp. Bieber laughed, nervous. "Hell no," he said. "That wasn't a joke," 50 added. "That was memory." He wasn't done. "This next one," he said, "isn't hearsay. It's straight from the man who lived it. Gene Deal. Gene was Puff's former bodyguard. He once told a story about a trip to an adult store, how Puff bought everything in sight, and Gene had to carry it. But the real moment? North Carolina. Puff and Ja Rule in a suite. Gene on post. Ja cracked the door, smirking. You might not want to come in. It's kind of freaky tonight. That wasn't champagne and music. That was something else. And when asked why Ja never spoke on it, nobody wants to, 50 shrugged. But I am. He made it clear this isn't about shaming anyone for who they are. It's about power, abuse, boundaries crossed by a man who knows nobody will say no. Then 50 dropped another name. YK Osiris, a young artist who rose fast, then vanished. Puff flew him to Jamaica. Same beaches, same dates, same hotel. Osiris posted pics with his girlfriend. But people knew. Something was off. Then came the Instagram Live. Osiris crying, breaking down, saying nothing made sense anymore. That video? 50 played it in court. That's what happens when Puff is done with you. He painted a pattern. Puff finds young artists, promises them the world, then isolates them, uses them, discards them. Then came two names that shocked the room, not because of what they did, but because of who they were. Fabulous, Kevin Hart. Two men from very different worlds, but 50 claimed he saw it in their eyes. He brought up clips, interviews. Fab looking nervous, Kevin seeming off. Behind those smiles, something was broken. And then the bombshell. 50 pulled out a folded paper. The list, he said. The one y'all said didn't exist. He started reading. Justin Bieber, Ja Rule, Bow Wow, Trey Songz, Kevin Hart. Fabulous. He paused. There are more, he said, but they're not ready. He made it clear Diddy didn't act alone. People helped him, covered for him, protected him. Not everyone on the list was a victim. Some were recruiters. Some were paid. He's not naming those yet. Why now? I've seen too many people break, 50 said. I've got kids. I won't let this man do to the next generation what he did to mine. When he stepped down, the courtroom was silent. Outside, chaos. The industry trembled. PR firms panicked. Lawyers scrambled. Celebs wiped their social media. Instagram accounts gone. Podcasts dropped emergency episodes. Radio DJs pulled bad boy records. One late-night show canceled a sketch and held 2 minutes of silence. This isn't a scandal, one news anchor said. This is a reckoning. Former bad boy artists began quietly speaking out. NDAs had muzzled them for years. Some contracts were so strict, even admitting they attended a party could lead to fines. But 50 had cracked the seal. The next morning, he posted a photo outside the courthouse. Caption, "They tried to shut me down before. Let's see them try now. More names coming." And just like that, the fortress around the untouchables began to crumble. One former artist reached out to a reporter anonymously. He remembered an invite to a Diddy party. No phones, no security. I knew then, he said, this wasn't a mixer. He declined. Weeks later, his album rollout vanished. Phone calls stopped. Maybe it's not just about Diddy. Maybe it's about a culture built to protect him. And now, the only question left is, how many more will speak before silence writes the ending for them? Stay tuned. This isn't the end. It's just the first name on the list.